Honorable Director, IIT Guwahati, Professor Uttam Biswas, Honorable Ex-Director, IIT Bombay, Professor S.P. Sukhatme, distinguished speakers, Professor Michelle Clark from Nottingham University, Professor L.M. Das and Professor K.K. Pan from IIT Delhi, Dr. S. Dasgupta from Reliance Industries Limited, my dear colleagues, participants, students, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you all. I welcome you all to this workshop on Frontier Energy Research with Industry Academia Partnership. Energy is a fundamental to the quality of our lives. It is a key ingredient in all sectors of modern economics. The energy supply must be sustainable. By the year 2050, worldwide energy demand is projected to be at least twice today's level. How then will satisfy this huge energy requirement? The question is not only limited to the issues on the energy production, but also its efficient supply, stored and used in an environment-friendly manner. At its heart, the challenge is a scientific one and ought to be addressed through suitably manned research programs. However, for such technology-driven research programs, networking, sharing, and partnering among the stakeholders are essential.
Ladies and gentlemen, a great pleasure for me to be here this morning. Some of you may remember I came about 6 months ago. It's a pleasure every time to see how this new IIT is still new to me. I hope you don't mind my saying so. How this new IIT has grown over the years. We've got 5,000 students on the campus, doing well, and being recognized all over India and many parts of the world. That's what we want to happen. One day, you will cross IIT Bombay. I wish you the best of luck. The IIT Bombay will probably put up a vigorous fight. That's the way it should be. There should be healthy competition between all the IITs to stay at the top. But as I said, it's a great pleasure to be here. It's good to be here. It's good to see a vigorous institute. And I'm happy to be here and to give you a lecture which will come in a few minutes. Thank you for inviting me.
On behalf of IIT Guwahati and on my personal behalf, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to this program, to this event, which is extremely relevant. All of us know that energy, environment, and water, these are three major concerns. And IIT Guwahati has put in modest effort to set up the energy center. But I would say probably time has come that we be little more global, because here energy center was focused at addressing some specific issues. But time has come to view the entire energy-related issues in a global perspective and in a wholesome way. It's very timely organized event. I'm really grateful that Professor Sukhatme agreed to come and stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a subject on which I have been working. The general subject of energy like this, or planning for energy in the future, is a subject on which I have been working for the last few years, 2 or 3 years. And in fact, I have been speaking on when we don't have fossil fuels in the future, what will take over the energy scene in India. I have been speaking about the role of renewables and to what extent they can fill our needs for the future, and so on. So today I am asking the question, how much electricity do we need? Not how much energy we will need, how much electricity we will need. So it's one part of the energy scene that I am speaking about, the electricity side. And it's an estimate. I make no bones about it that one can only do no better than estimating what it is. But estimating is important, as you will see as I go along.
Basically, in this talk, I will try to address some novel heat transfer enhancement mechanisms, keeping in mind applications of tube cross-flow heat exchangers and bed-free heat exchangers. As I said, that these heat exchangers are used in many energy-related devices, especially if you consider thermal power plant, starting from condenser to intermediate heaters. Those are basically nothing but heat exchangers. So we'll discuss basically the flow and heat transfer mechanism and how to enhance the heat transfer by some novel techniques.
Good afternoon. My talk will take two parts, and I'm conscious of time, so I hope not to take my full allocation. So the first part, I just want to talk a little bit about energy, and in particular fossil fuels. And because the purpose of this conference is to talk about interactions with industry, I just wanted to provide an overview of the doctoral training centre that I'm involved in, and I know some participants here know a little bit about, but is relatively unique in that it is an industry academic partnership to deliver the next generation of research leaders.
Good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, I must thank the organizers for having given me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts, ideas, R&D pursuit, attainments and goals in the area of hydrogen engines. When I got the letter, I came to observe that this is basically reflecting the prospects of and some collaborative effort of industry and academia. I think the time is right that we don't restrict our research to international publications. Research has to go from lab to land. So with this perspective in mind, I thought to share one of our experience with Mahindra and Mahindra and Air Products, in which we have developed some hydrogen fuel vehicles for application.
Good afternoon to all of you, and I'm grateful to the organizers for inviting me for this special talk. And this will be more on R&D come some industrial linkage, where the industrial partner is the gas as of India linkage. The theme is something related to the development of the novel catalysts and basically a GTL process, which is natural gas conversion and treatment process, which can be used for refinery and petrochemical industry. The presentation will look at some background information which is related to the natural gas, its demand, supply, and some salient objective what we have done in our lab, and some salient results which is based on the catalyst selection, and then some novel results, and followed by a brief of the reactor design concept, which has not been discussed in detail, but brief, and finally a concluding remarks.
Life science innovation in life science. This probably reached to its most exciting phase. And each innovation every day is making life science much more complex, exciting, and creating opportunities for almost all areas of human life and civilization. What I will touch upon today is how we at Reliance are leveraging this in the area of bioenergy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be here with you. Actually, I have been associated with energy from my very childhood. This is one thing I like very much, and throughout my life, I followed that course. Since I was with the oil industry for quite some time, I was told that it would be better if I'm going to speak something on the hydrocarbon. So I actually selected a few persons and asked them to present their papers, but I don't know what happened. I think it didn't work. So I have chosen this subject here, that linking large-scale solar cell generators to pump storage systems for continuous power supply.
Good morning, everybody. It is known to all of us that whole India is facing a lot of problems because of shortage of power, especially the Northeast. Though shortage of power is there in the whole India, we the people of Assam are facing a lot of problems because of this shortage of power. Assam means I am talking about Northeast. So I have come with some slides to show you regarding power scenario of the Northeast, necessity of hydroelectric project, and role of NEPCO, how to solve the power, what we have done to solve the shortage of power problem in the Northeast.
When you talk about renewable energy, you know what is the reason. First of all, I should start with the word cultural called energy. So every country's economic development or their generation of wealth mainly depends upon the word called energy. Right? Like normally, how do we define energy? It's like work done per time. So nowadays, what we have done, instead of increasing the work done, so we wanted to reduce time so that my energy will become high. So that turned out to be like, for the neighboring house also we will go by car only. So it should be, instead of my parking place, it should be in their parking place. So like that we wanted to use technologies every day-to-day life. So the same thing, supply demand chain. So your based on your demand, your supply should also be maximum. So in that context, there were so many sustainable energy developments available, like solar, wind, biomass, and you will be, you had already heard on those things, hydro energy and biomass, and I hope so. So here today we are going to concentrate on solar energy, and in that particular, especially concentrated solar power.